You set 3 alarms last night, made a to-do list, told yourself today would be different, but by noon, you're scrolling through your phone or staring blankly at the wall, and that list hasn't moved. Your family thinks you're lazy, your boss thinks you lack drive, and the worst part, you've started to believe them. You tell yourself you just need to try harder, be better, stop being so weak. But here's what nobody's telling you: the problem isn't your character. It's not about willpower or discipline or wanting it badly enough. The real issue is happening inside your brain, at a chemical level most people don't even know exists. What if everything you've been taught about laziness is wrong? What if your brain is actually misfiring? For generations, we've been taught that productivity equals virtue. If you can't get things done, you must be morally deficient, lazy, undisciplined, weak. Millions of people carry this shame every single day, never realizing they're fighting a battle they were never equipped to win. But here's what's changed. Neuroscience has finally caught up to what so many of us have felt but couldn't explain. Researchers are now documenting how executive dysfunction, dopamine dysregulation, and prefrontal cortex abnormalities create the exact behaviors we label as laziness. Psychologists and brain scientists are saying it clearly: procrastination and avoidance aren't character flaws, they're neurological symptoms. This isn't about making excuses, it's about understanding what is actually happening in your brain, so you can finally address the real problem instead of just hating yourself for it. Let's talk about what's actually breaking down. Misfire number 1. Dopamine dysregulation. Dopamine is your brain's motivation currency. It's what makes starting a task feel possible, even exciting. But when your dopamine baseline is chronically low, whether from ADHD, depression, or prolonged stress, starting anything feels like pushing a boulder uphill. Most people think motivation comes first, then action follows. But it's actually reversed. Dopamine flows from taking action, creating a feedback loop that builds momentum. The problem: if your baseline is too low, you can't ignite that cycle in the first place. You're not unmotivated. Your reward prediction system is offline. Misfire number 2. Executive dysfunction. Your prefrontal cortex is supposed to be your brain's project manager. It handles task initiation, planning, prioritization, and follow-through. But when it misfires, and it does, constantly, in people with ADHD, depression, chronic stress, or burnout, even simple tasks become cognitively paralyzing. It's not that you don't know what needs to be done. Your brain literally cannot sequence the steps, prioritize what matters, or shift gears between tasks. You're sitting there frozen, not because you're avoiding work, but because your mental operating system just crashed, and everyone around you thinks you're being difficult. Now let's go deeper, because there are patterns happening that you probably don't even realize. Misfire number 3. Chronic stress hijacking. When you're under prolonged stress, your body pumps out cortisol constantly. Over time, this actually shrinks your hippocampus and impairs your prefrontal cortex, the parts responsible for memory and decision-making. Your brain enters permanent survival mode, where only immediate threats register as important. Everything else gets deprioritized. You think you're avoiding work because you don't care, but your brain thinks it's protecting you from a threat, so it shuts down non-essential functions. Work isn't life or death, so it gets ignored while your nervous system stays locked in fight or flight. Misfire number 4. The shame paralysis loop. Every time you've tried and failed, your brain logged it. After enough repetitions, you develop learned helplessness. Now, before you even start a task, your brain predicts failure. It floods you with anticipatory anxiety and stress hormones, making the task feel unbearable before you've even begun. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. And here's the cruel irony: the harder you judge yourself for being lazy, the more your brain confirms that starting tasks leads to emotional pain. So it keeps you stuck, thinking it's protecting you. You're not lazy, you're trapped. Here's the good news: your brain can be retrained. Neuroplasticity is real, but you have to work with your neurology, not against it. Let me give you a framework that actually addresses what's broken. First, dopamine micro-hits. Break tasks into 2-minute segments. Seriously, 2 minutes. This triggers small dopamine releases that start building momentum. Try the 5-minute rule. Commit to starting anything for just 5 minutes. No pressure to finish. This rewires your initiation pathway because your brain learns that starting doesn't equal suffering, it equals relief. Second, external scaffolding. When your prefrontal cortex is overloaded, outsource the work. Use visual timers so you don't have to track time mentally. Try body doubling, working near another person, even virtually. Their presence activates your mirror neurons and makes task initiation easier. Environmental cues. Work 2. Dedicate specific spaces to specific tasks so your brain gets contextual support. Third, shame detox. Change your internal language. Instead of "I'm a lazy failure," try "my brain is struggling right now." It sounds small, but this shift stops the shame paralysis loop from reinforcing itself. You're acknowledging the misfire without adding judgment. Fourth, nervous system regulation. Before starting work, do something physical. 10 jumping jacks, splash cold water on your face, or practice box breathing. This shifts you from sympathetic threat mode into parasympathetic safety mode, where cognitive function actually works. These aren't productivity hacks, they're neurological interventions, and you have permission to experiment, fail, and try again without hating yourself for it. If this resonated, you're not broken, you've just been fighting your own neurology without the manual. Try one micro-strategy this week and notice what shifts. Drop a comment sharing which misfire hit hardest for you. You'll help someone else feel less alone. Subscribe for more brain-based strategies that actually work. Your brain isn't lazy. It's been waiting for you to understand it.